Well, if you don't hear it, that's the wind. And this week's adventure is at Ocean Shores, Washington. It's a beautiful day outside, but it's good and windy. We got everything down here, all the sand toys. And we got beach cleanup, so we got a fire. Wonderful wife, she's tending to that.
I've been helping with limbs.
Helping with limbs, that's good. So we can't get the boat out on the water without it blowing us crazy. There's about 30-mile-an-hour winds with 40-mile-an-hour gusts. So we're in here cleaning up this edge of the lot. That way I can use the cedar that I'm cutting on my sawmill for the fence. But we got to cut it back to find the property line. It goes right along with that big tree there. So we'll get this cleaned up. Wonderful wife, what are you watching there?
Camp TV.
That's right, Camp TV. So we have trees here that when Wonderful Wife was a kid, they weren't all that big yet. Now they're so big they're falling apart. Like right there, that's lost a big old limb that fell this direction. We had to cut some of these back here because there are big old bushes like that thing there, and dropping down. That tree, it'll last a few more years, but hopefully we're not here when it comes down, because it's trying to crack apart. And with the winds, you can see the top is blown out of that tree and blown out of that tree. So we're off the ocean by about a quarter of a mile. And if you look up Ocean Shores in Washington, you'll see this is quite the community here. And in the last 4 years, it's really grown. But the beach lot has been here since when?
We started coming down about 72.
1972, huh?
Yeah.
That's been a couple years.
Just a couple.
So we're walking up on one of the bridges that goes over the canal. These are all man-dug canals back when they put the Ocean Shores property in. Sold lots. And everybody would buy a lot. Price depended on whether it was on the canal or on Duck Lake or any of the waterways. But it's quite windy. And you see all the boats that are on the water are all tied up to the dock. Nobody's boating today. A little too windy. Oh boy. And that's Public Works over there. That big green tank is a water tower. There used to be one that was up in the air back in the 70s. And that's how Wonderful Wife knew where the lot was. She just had to look where they were. Of course, all this vegetation wasn't as tall as it is now back then because it was a new community. Well, like I say, this is one of the canals that leads to the lakes. So that way, there's a fork right at that big tree. One goes that way, one goes this way. And I'm trying to get on the water. If this wind will die down, hopefully this weekend. So you have everything down here from empty lots that people camp on to permanent structures. But yeah, It's quite the community anymore. And if you don't want to mow, all you do is lay rock. There's all different colors of rocks. And these are just a few new houses on this block. 4 of them there, and 6 of them on this side within the last 2 years. And you've got a very wilderness setting just on the next street over. Might be a house there next time I come down. You never know. Well, we're at the park and boat launch, and it's much better news today. At least somebody's out on the lake. We still have wind, but nothing like yesterday. So I think we're gonna try to get out there. We should have enough horsepower in that motor to get back. Let's get her done. Well, it might be a little bit windy today. Doggy's not complaining much. We'll get this thing started up and see if we can run around the lake. Well, we made it back on the trailer all in one piece. It was definitely challenging because of the wind, so I can't oversteer into it, but it set on the trailer. We're good. Let's get back to the beach lot and get things ready to run. Yeah, we made it back safe and sound to the camp. We'll get cleaned up here, head back home to edit this video. So now that we're back home, I've been cutting more of the cedar fence posts and rail pieces that I'm going to need. So I got a whole lot of them here drying. Whole stack of them up here, another stack over here. The way I've got it figured, I've got about half. And this is a tree that fell down in the woods. You can see bugs have bed into it. Came clean down to this end, so I can get more boards out of that one, but we've got half of them cut for that fence at the beach lot. And Kevin's got the job of cleaning up all that sawdust, dropping it down in the trailer below. If you haven't seen that, this is a sawmill trailer. It's a 40-foot semi-trailer that I've converted by opening it up, make that into a rolling door, put the sawmill inside, keeps it nice and dry, and a convenient way to get rid of the sawdust. Is that trailer full down there? Uh-huh. Yep, that trailer's getting full. We'll take this sawdust, maybe put some of that on the garden to hold the water. And I'll go ahead and get that pulled out a little bit so we can fill the back of the trailer. Oh yeah, got lots of room back there. Then of course you wanted to see the raised beds. We got our kohlrabi putting off a nice ball. Oh yeah, look at those. We got slugs chewing on stuff because they're coming up on the rail and jumping onto the leaf. I don't have enough copper around here. Of course, we got a cauliflower. And we got lettuce here doing its thing. Got beans. There were beans in here, but I didn't have any copper there, so the slugs ate all of that. But I've got enough beans between here and the other section over across the garden. I should have plenty of beans. The pod peas, where you eat them right in the pod, nice sweet peas, those are coming along. Then we've got the tomatoes coming up in the cage. I've already got the flowers, so we'll have tomatoes here started by next week. I know, you wanted to see it. Corn, yeah, well, that's hit and miss still. But we have other rows that we've planted that have come up as well. And one last project for this week. And I want to say Happy Father's Day to my dad. We give this to him tomorrow at breakfast. I think he's got a post for it. So from wonderful wife and I want to say on this Sunday, the day you're seeing this, Happy Father's Day.